Pay attention students on a blackboard. Welcome again into the 12th Science Chemistry class. In the last lecture we learned about the Raoult's law. Now what is according to the Raoult's law? We know that according to the Raoult's law, the partial vapor pressure of the any component is equal to the multiplication of vapor pressure of that pure component and that of the mole fraction of that component. Again, if that is the another component, then according to Raoult's law, the vapor pressure, partial vapor pressure of that component is equal to the multiplication of the vapor pressure of that pure component into that is its mole fraction. Now this is about the Raoult's law. Again here P1 and P2 are the partial vapor pressures and P01 and P02 are the vapor pressures of pure liquids A and A2 respectively. Now we also learned from the Dalton's law in the last lecture. That is the Dalton's law of partial pressure is what? This that is total pressure is equal to the summation of the partial pressures of that two different components. And if we substitute these values of partial pressure, and we know that x1 plus x2 is equal to 1, and therefore that is the x2 is equal to 1 minus x1, and from that we calculated this or we derived this equation, that is the total pressure is equal to P02 minus P01 H2 plus P01. Now this is about the Raoult's law and partial vapor pressure law, Dalton's law of partial vapor pressure. Now here this P is the total pressure of the solution. Now if we plot a graph of this P versus mole fraction of that of the solute, that is the total pressure, and H2, we obtain a straight line. Why? Because this equation is as the equation of straight line, y is equal to the equation of straight line, y is equal to mx plus c. Now suppose c is P01, m is this P02 minus P01, that is the slope, and this h2 is equal to this x, and y is equal to total pressure P. As we know that the equation of straight line y is equal to mx plus c is the its graph is straight line. So if we plot here P versus h2, the graph is also straight line. Now see, as shown in the figure on the blackboard, see here. Now see the blackboard. On that I plot a graph of, that is the if we plot a graph of P versus x2 as shown in figure. If we plot a graph of P versus x2, what we obtain then here? Now this is the P, that is the vapor pressure of the solution, total vapor pressure of the solution, and this is the mole fraction. If we plot a graph of vapor pressure and mole fraction, that is the H2, a straight line is obtained as shown in figure. This straight line is obtained. Vapor pressure versus that is the mole fraction, this straight line is obtained. Now here for P01 versus H2. Now see this P01 versus H2, if we take the graph, then it is also straight line. P01 versus H2, it is also a straight line, and here P is equal to P01. P is equal to becomes P01. When P becomes P01, if we substitute here this H2 as a 0, all this quantity becomes 0. So P is equal to P01. equal to 0. So, for graph first, or for the first graph is, what is that? P01 versus H2, it is a straight line, and here P is equal to P01. Now this is the P01, P is equal to P01, P becomes P01 when H2 is equal to 0. This H2 is 0, then what that time? At that time if we substitute the value of here H2 as the 0, all these quantity become 0 and P is equal to P01. That becomes P is equal to P01. Now see here, this P becomes P01 when H2 is equal to 0. But if we put H2 as equal to 1, then P becomes P0 in this equation. See here, if here H2 is equal to 1, then what happened? All these quantities, that is P02 minus P01 also becomes, all this H2 is equal to 1. At that time what happened? This P0, P is equal to P02, that becomes P is equal to P02. If we put H2 as equal to 1, then on multiplication of this by 1, what is there remaining? P is equal to P02 minus P01. Now on multiplication by 1, and this P01 will be remaining. Now here plus P01 and minus P01 get cancelled. What is remaining? P is equal to P02. P is equal to P02. See here, P is equal to P02 when H2 is equal to 1. If we substitute in this equation H2 is equal to 1, on multiplication by 1, what is remaining? P is equal to P02 minus P01 plus P01. Minus P01 and plus P01 get cancelled because this H2 is equal to 1. So on multiplication that remains as it is. And P01 and P minus P01 and plus P01 get cancelled. What is remaining? P is equal to P02. See here, P is equal to P02 when H2 is equal to 1. Now this is for this graph, that is the for P01 versus H2 graph, which is the straight line. Now secondly, for P1 versus X1 graph, that is the straight line. Now see this equation, P1 versus X1, or P1 versus X1 graph, which is also the straight line. What is here? If we put P1 as equal to 0 at X1 is equal to 0, what is there then? This P1 becomes 0 if X1 is equal to 0. See here, if the value of X1 we substitute at the 0, 0 into P01 becomes 0 and P1 becomes 0. See here, P1, when P1 becomes 0, when we substitute X1 is equal to 0 here. Now see, students, understand this. This is very simple. The secondly, I told you that here, secondly, this P1 is equal to 0. When P1 becomes 0, when this P1 becomes 0 in this equation, if we substitute X1 as the 0. So if we substitute X1 as a 0 at that time, P1 is equal to 0. But if we substitute X1 is equal to 1, then at that time P1 is equal to P01. Substitute here, X1 is equal to 1, 1 into P01 becomes P01. So at that time P1 is equal to P01. So P1 is equal to P01 at X1 is equal to 1 and P1 is equal to 0 at X1 is equal to 0 according to this equation. Now in the next for P2 versus H2 straight line, what is there for P2 versus H2 straight line? When P2 is equal to 0, if we substitute in this equation P2 becomes 0. When P2 becomes 0? When H2 is equal to 0. So P2 is equal to 0 and H2 is equal to 0. But when P2 is equal to 1. So at H2 is equal to 1, P2 becomes P0. Now this is about the this graph. Now in that you understand the first is from this equation, the second is from this equation, and the third is from this equation. Now in this way they given us that here is x1 is equal to 0, and for this graph and for this graph the x1 becomes 1 here. Again for this graph x1 becomes 1, and for this graph x1 is 0. Now again for this graph x2 is equal to 0, and that is the x2 becomes 1. When x2 becomes 1, for this graph x2 becomes 1. Now this is about that is the Raoult's law and the graphical representation of Raoult's law. Now next topic is that of the composition of vapor pressure. Now this is the composition of the liquid. Here we learned the vapor pressure about the composition of the liquid. Now we have to learn the composition of the vapor phase. Now try to understand this graph and how they are given the three aspects about this graph. You must learn that in details. Now let us learn the composition of vapor phase. Now pay attention students on the blackboard. Now we have to find out the composition of vapor phase. The composition of liquid phase we already learned about that. The composition of liquid phase means mole fraction of the both of the liquid, that is x1 and x2. So the composition of liquid phase are x1 and x2 respectively. But the composition of vapor phase, here we take y1 and y2. See here, the composition of vapor in equilibrium with the solution can be determined by using Dalton's law of partial pressure. Now if we take y1 and y2 as the mole fractions of the two components in the vapor phase, then how that is the Raoult's law becomes P1 is equal to y1p and P2 is equal to y2p. Now here P1 and P2 are the partial vapor pressures of two components of the vapor phase, and P is the total vapor pressure. Now see here P1 and P2 are the partial pressures of the two components in the vapor, and P is the total vapor pressure. Now why we derive these, that is the composition of the vapor phase, because there is the numerical to calculate the composition of vapor phase and composition of the liquid phase. Now the composition of the liquid phase are the x1 and x2, and composition of vapor phase are the y1 and y2. Now let us here we solve the numerical which is based to calculate the composition of liquid and vapor phase. Now see this problem 2.3. Now what is given in this problem 2.3? The vapor pressures of pure liquids capital A and B are 450 mmHg and 700 mmHg. Now these are the vapor pressures of the pure liquids A and B are given respectively at the temperature 350 Kelvin. And they ask us find the composition of liquid and vapor if total vapor pressure is 600 mm of Hg. Now this is the total vapor pressure 600 mm of Hg. Now here is the pressure, vapor pressure. Okay. Now the total vapor pressure is 600 mm of Hg, and they are given that is the vapor pressure of the pure components, pure liquid as 450 mm x1 x2 and y1 y. Let us first find out the x1 x2, that is the composition of liquid A and B. So solution, in that solution, composition of A and B in the solution are, in the solution, that means in the liquid state, here x1 and h2. Now what is the equation of the Dalton's partial law pressure and Raoult's law equation? That is the combination of that, this we know that is the total vapor pressure is equal to P02 minus P01 H2 plus P01. Now in this equation, this P is the total vapor pressure of the solution, 600 mm of Hg, and P1 is equal to, P01 is equal to, that is the vapor pressure of pure component, P01 and P02. Now that are given 450 mm of Hg and 700 mm of Hg. Now here only substitute these three values in this equation. Now this total pressure is 600, P02 is equal to 700 mm and P01 is equal to 450. And this H2 is as it is, and this P01 again 450 mm of Hg. Now this plus becomes minus here. So 600 minus 450 is equal to what is here? 700 minus 450, that is the 250, and this H2 is there. Do you understand that? Up to this, I only take this 450 here, it becomes minus, and on subtracting this 450 from this 700, we obtain 250, and H2 is here as it is. Now we want to calculate the H2. So 600 minus 450 is equal to 150, and this is the 250 H2. So H2 is equal to, now this get divided to this 150. To calculate H2, divide this to the 150. So H2 is equal to 150 divided 250, and that is equal to 0.6. So what is the value of H2? H2 is equal to 0.6 we obtain here. Now we have to calculate x1 also. So what is about the mole fractions? The summation of the mole fraction is always unity. So x1 plus h2 is equal to 1. So we know the value of h2. So x1 is equal to 1 minus h2. That is 1 minus 0.6. This value of h2, and therefore x1 is equal to 0.4. Now in this way we calculate the compositions in the liquid phase. Now we have to calculate the composition in the, that is the vapor phase, that is y1 and y2. Now let us learn how it is calculated, that is the composition in the vapor phase. How calculated? Let us learn. Now again see student on the blackboard, let us calculate now the compositions of A and B in the vapor. We calculate already the composition of A and B in the liquid as x1 is equal to 0.4 and h2 is equal to 0.6. Now let us calculate y1 and y2. Now how it is calculated? Now the compositions of A and B in the vapor are y1 and y2 respectively. So we know this equation P1, that is the partial vapor pressure of A1, that is A, that is y1 into P, and P2 is equal to y2 into P. We know these equations. So but we also know that P1 is equal to P01 x1 and P2 is equal to P02 x2. This is from the Raoult's law, that is the partial vapor pressures is the multiplication of the vapor pressure of pure component into mole fraction. Now substitute this value of P1 and P2 in this equation here. So P1 is equal to P01 x1 is equal to y1 P, and P2 is equal to what? P02 x2. So here substitute P02 x2 is equal to y2 P. I only substituted this value of P1 and P2 in this equation. P1 as this and P2 as this. So we obtain this equation. Now the value of y1 is calculated as P01 x1 divided by this P. And we can calculate the value of y2 also by dividing P02 x2 by P. H. So substitute here 450. What is the value of x1? 0.4. So substitute here x1 as the 0.4 divided by total pressure, that is the 600. So on multiplication and this division, we obtain the value of this quantity as y1 is equal to 0.3. And we know that y1 plus y2 is equal to 1, and therefore y2 is equal to 1 minus 1. So you can calculate from this equation also, or by only substituting this y2 is equal to 1 minus y1. So 1 minus 0.3 is equal to 0.7. y2 is equal to 0.7. And in this way, students will calculate that is the four quantity S1, H2, Y1 and Y2. That is the composition in the liquid phase and composition in the vapor phase by using these different formulae. So students, if you understand this, that is the graphical representation of the Raoult's law, again the composition of that components, two components in the vapor phase, how it is calculated, and also the numerical based on the composition in the liquid phase and vapor phase. Very easily if you understand this by this video, then you can like, subscribe and share this video to the another students so that they can also understand what is the composition of liquid phase and vapor phase. Again, how the numericals can be solved from that, and what is the graphical representation of Raoult's law. So thank you for watching this video, and again watch this video again and again so that you can understand very easily all these topics. These are the very simple topics, students. Now we will learn in the next lecture, that is the positive and negative deviations of the Raoult's law. Now thank you for watching this video.